everyone, Patricia Hanbidge here, your horticulturist, my favorite helper, little green sprout. And today on Grow Live we are going to talk about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees. Yeah. Anyway, what we have here is a Clivia plant. This plant, oh gosh, I've had for over 20 years, maybe even longer. My mom, who was a great gardener, Ruth Ann Hanbidge, and I split her Clivia years and years and years ago. And this one now needs to be split again. But because we have opportunity, and as gardeners, when opportunity knocks, guess what? What do? Take that opportunity. Yeah, so anyway, little green sprout here is going to be doing some pollination while I talk about the Clivia. So I'm going to snafu a flower here. So this is what is called a perfect flower. So inside the perfect flower are stamens. So each petal you'll see is attached to a stamen. That's the male part of the plant. And in the center of that gaggle of males is a different looking structure that is actually the pistil, or the female part of the plant. So with the Clivia, they are perfect flowers. So when you pollinate, we're doing the same job as the bees do. So what are you going to use to pollinate? You've got a handy dandy little soft, can I just borrow that for a second? A soft paintbrush. Just because what you're going to do is the same thing the bee does when it's going around and gathering nectar and pollen from the flowers, is you're going to take a little bit of pollen from the male part, the stamens. So up here on top is where all the pollen grains sit. And you're going to take a little bit from there and you're going to put it on the female part of the pistil, which is this little part right there. All right, so you go ahead and go to work, little bee. And I'll talk a little bit more about Clivias and pollination and all those kind of facts. So the Clivia is part of the lily family. It doesn't grow from a bulb, but it does have kind of a quite detailed root structure. And in the summertime, this plant, along with all the other tropicals and subtropicals, are outside in the shade, enjoying beautiful weather. But in order to get the seeds, and if you look, I'll just grab one of these stalks here. So this is a stalk that has some pollinated seeds on it. If you have a stalk that doesn't have pollinated seeds on it, you'll see that there is just kind of nothing happening. So if you think about why plants flower, is they flower because they want to reproduce. That's their only reason for being there, although we get a lot of beauty out of them and enjoyment as well. So when we do the bee's job, you will get seed production. So what happens with the seed production is the pollen grains from the male part of the flower get in touch with the top of the female, or the pistil part of the flower, and those pollen grains will flow down the tube and into the ovule where fertilization occurs. Once that magic occurs, then you get the seed production. Now, every plant is unique. How are you doing there, little bumblebee? Are you going yeah, keep pollinating, because each flower needs to be pollinated to form the seeds. And sometimes in these seed pods, there's multiple seeds. I've only had 4 or 5 in a seed pod, but sometimes with real good production and giving the plants all that they need, you can get many seeds within each seed pod. How are you doing? Do you need a new flower? Have you done every single little flower? No? Keep going then. So it's kind of magical when you think that we can actually create new growth just with a few minutes of our time. So this Kaffir Lily, or Clivia, flowers twice a year. In the wintertime, it's inside under lights. It's spectacular. As you can see, there's beautiful big flower spikes that come up, and they really are quite spectacular. So this plant is quite old and ready to be shared, divided. And I have to show you, this is a little baby Clivia that after the seeds had matured on the plant for almost a year, we planted them, and that was, gosh, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and here's a baby Clivia, or Kaffir Lily, starting to grow. Keep going there, little bumblebee. The job of a bee is tireless. Need new flower? Did you get every single flower in there? Good job. Okay, I'm just going to turn this big guy a little bit and go ahead and work on that one. So, like I said, it comes from the lily family. It's a beautiful plant. This one now is so wide that you can't even get it through a 3-foot or 1 meter doorway. So it's time to divide him and or her or it, whatever it might be, and share it with others. So as far as growth goes, like any tropical, it is native to South Africa. It needs to have good light, well-drained soil. Doesn't like to dry out. If you are growing the seeds, you want to make sure they've got a lot of room for root growth because it does have a very vigorous root system. So in the Clivia, the flower is considered perfect. So what that means, if you are a perfect flower, is, what do you do with her? Eat pollen? No? Okay. A perfect flower just means that it is a flower that has both male and female parts within the flower. If you've ever grown squash or pumpkins or things of that type, what you'll see is male and female flowers in separate blooms on the same plant. So what has to happen there is bees or wind or whatever the pollinator might be, little green sprout, it will need to have pollination in order for that magical fruit to appear. So I hope that we've helped enlighten you a little bit about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees, or even just pollination in plants. So that's a little bit of basic botany. Did you have anything you wanted to add from the status of a bumblebee? Is it hard work? No? Fun work? Yeah? Okay, that's good. Well, folks, thank you for joining us. Patricia Hanbidge, your horticulturist, and my favorite helper, Little Green Sprout, talking about fertilization of plants. And I hope that you can join us anytime, Wednesday afternoon, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on Grow Live, or at your leisure, whenever it suits you, on my YouTube channel, Grow. If you're watching the channel and you see something that we've missed that you'd like to see published, then drop us a line and we'll help you out. If you do like what you see, please subscribe, and we'll continue to keep doing what we're doing here, both in the garden and inside under grow lights. So until next time, stay safe, be happy, and let's get growing. See you next time, folks. Bye now.